Okay, so take a look at this. It's just a razor blade, right? It's small, it's disposable, and it seems so incredibly simple. But the journey this tiny piece of metal takes, from a raw steel strip all the way to your bathroom cabinet, is this unbelievable story of fire, ice, and just mind-boggling precision.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How in the world is it possible to make something so impossibly thin, yet strong enough to slice through thousands and thousands of hairs? Well, the answer involves an incredible feat of engineering, so let's dive in and find out. And the job this little thing has to do is enormous. Get this, it's estimated that an average man shaves about 200 kilometers of beard hair over his lifetime. That's like shaving your way from London all the way to Bristol, all with this one tiny blade. So let's pull back the curtain on this simple little blade's story, because behind its straightforward appearance, there's a hidden world of high-tech engineering, one that transforms a common material into a true precision instrument. So here's the crazy thing about a razor blade. It starts its life as a strip of stainless steel just 0.1 millimeters thick, so flexible you could literally mistake it for paper. Yet, by the end of its journey, it's a high-tech tool, strong enough to tackle the roughly 25,000 hairs on an average person's beard. It's a total transformation. Now, this level of precision didn't just appear out of nowhere. The quest for the perfect shave is a story that actually stretches back thousands of years. It's a long and, you could say, a surprisingly sharp history. You know, from bronze tools for ancient Egyptian priests to Roman soldiers shaving for a battlefield advantage, the need was always there, but it was always risky. I mean, the straight razors of the 19th century were famously dangerous. The real game changer came in 1901 when King Camp Gillette got so frustrated with his own shaving cuts that he invented the disposable double-edge safety razor. And just like that, the modern era of shaving was born. So, from that historical innovation, let's jump right into the modern factory. This is where the transformation from a soft steel strip to a hardened blade begins, and it starts with an intense ordeal, a true trial by fire and ice.
Everything starts with this, the preform. A machine punches out the basic shape of the blade from a long ribbon of stainless steel. But at this point, the steel is incredibly soft and pliable. It has the right shape, but absolutely none of the strength. That, however, is about to change dramatically.
Okay, now this is where things get really intense. First, the preforms are blasted with heat at 1100 degrees Celsius. Then they're instantly quenched in cold water. But it doesn't stop there. They're then flash frozen to minus 50 degrees. So why do that? Well, this extreme cold shock perfectly realigns their molecular structure, locking it in for maximum strength and durability. A final blast of heat removes any brittleness, and there you have it. This four-step dance is what forges the blade's fundamental strength.
Now, once the steel is hardened, but before it gets its super sharp edge, there's just enough time for branding. The manufacturer's logo is printed right onto the steel and then instantly dried with gas flames, so it's permanently bonded to the blade.
The steel is now incredibly hard, but it's still not a blade. It's just a hard piece of metal. For that, we need to move on to the next crucial stage, the birth of the perfect edge.
Now for the artistry. The hardened strips pass through a series of grinding machines. The first one carves the initial rough angle. The second one refines that angle with microscopic precision. And finally, a polishing stage buffs away any remaining imperfections, creating a totally flawless cutting surface.
But a sharp edge isn't enough, right? It also needs to be durable and comfortable. So after a deep clean, the blades enter a vacuum chamber where a chrome-based layer is fused to the edge for strength and rust resistance. Then comes the secret ingredient for comfort. A special polymer coating is added. This stuff dramatically reduces friction, which is what helps prevent razor burn and ensures a smooth glide. Finally, the blades are baked to lock in all those protective layers.
So, the blade's been forged, sharpened, and coated. You'd think the job is done, but it's not even close. Now comes the most intense part of the whole process, the final quality test, where any tiny imperfection means instant rejection.
The quality control here is absolutely relentless. Lab teams check samples under microscopes. Every single blade is visually inspected by a skilled worker. They're scanned under fluorescent lights that reveal the tiniest of flaws. A machine even tests their cutting power on thick, wet paper to make sure each one performs perfectly. Only the blades that pass every single one of these tests get to move on.
After surviving that grueling series of tests, the blade is almost ready to become your morning companion. There are just a couple of final touches left to make sure it reaches you in absolutely perfect condition.
As a final safeguard against any corrosion, the blades are bathed in organic oil. Then,
Each one is individually wrapped in the specialized wax paper. This paper not only protects the blade from moisture, but it's also strong enough to ensure that ultra-sharp edge doesn't cut through before you're ready to use it.
And that quote right there, it says it all. The journey is complete. A material that began as thin and flexible as paper has been transformed into a precision tool capable of effortlessly handling one of the toughest jobs we ask of it every day.
The story behind the razor blade is just an amazing testament to centuries of innovation and some incredible modern engineering. It really makes you wonder, what other secrets are hiding in the simple objects we use every single day? So, which one should we uncover next? Let us know. Thanks for watching.